Alright guys, me and the old man are gonna weld in this front bumper support, shock absorber, whatever you want to call it, and get that all welded in so we can start mounting the intercooler and stuff. So we're gonna do that next. This is the welder we're gonna be using. It's a Lotus brand, MIG 140. I'll get through here. MIG 140 unit. Got it from Northern Tool.
About 350.
Yeah, it's about 350 from Northern Tool. Let's see that. Hand me that sledgehammer there. I'm gonna try to tap this tab back a little bit, make it a little more flush. Alright fellas, we got her welded in and nice and solid now, so we'll go ahead and let that cool down and we'll get it painted, and then we can go ahead and slap the intercooler and everything in there and get that shit mounted up so we can start working on all the cold side piping and getting the turbochargers clocked properly and bolted down to the manifold T4 flanges. So that's what we're going to work on. We got that crash absorber welded in there, and got the front bumper support all mounted in there, and got her painted so she looks halfway decent. And so at this point we can go ahead and try to mock up this front intercooler, see where we got to drill holes into the bumper support to get it mounted, and then we can start plumbing in the cold side piping. Alright fellas, we went ahead and got the intercooler mounted, the oil cooler. We got a little aftermarket oil cooler to keep the oil cool and you know, in check, keep the temperature in check. So give you a shot of that. We also installed the got rid of the crossover too, because it takes up a lot of room, and the routing of the hoses would be a pain in the ass. So we went with on 3 crossover delete. It's a pretty nice setup, not too bad as far as price goes, so definitely an option for guys that need to delete the crossover pipe. But I'll give you a shot of what we got going on here. That's the intercooler mounted, with the oil cooler mounted to the front of it. Has a fan that comes with it. The oil cooler came off eBay, so it wasn't too bad priced either. And the fan is bi-directional. You can wire it to turn clockwise, or you can wire it to turn counterclockwise. So gives you a couple options there. But that's what we got going on. I cut off the center support so we have some decent amount of airflow to the intercooler and the oil cooler. So that's what we got going on there. Another on 3 oil cooler delete set up right there. This piece has an O-ring, slides into the block, and you bolt it down with the existing hole, and then you got fittings that come off, and you run your line to the filter itself, or excuse me, the thermostat itself. This right here is what comes in the kit as well. The thermostat goes in there. They claim to use like 180 degree small block Chevy thermostat and gasket. So that's what's inside there. So them lines from over there will run over to here, and then this will go, you know, hose end will go to the radiator itself. Brackets right here. They go bolted or welded to the intercooler. And all we did is drill and tap that, so on both sides, so we can mount that. Once we cut it off, we're able to put a nut on both bolts, so that made it easier. So we got that mounted. Looks pretty good. I think it's centered pretty good with the vehicle, so it ought to look good through the bumper cover. This car is an 04 GT. You know, it came with the 4.6 2-valve from the factory. The original owner, or the previous owner, had put a lot of shit on it. You know, it had a AJEK member on it when we got it. It had rear, upper and lower control arms, adjustable on the lower, lowering springs, and had, you know, long tube headers on the 2-valve. Had quite a bit of shit that we were able, once we removed it, I was able to sell the engine, the headers, the exhaust, quite a bit of shit to, and it had fucking couple 10 or 12 inch subwoofers and amp and JL audio amps that we were able to sell, so we recouped quite a bit of money from the stuff that we didn't need.